groups are requested to select a spokesperson to express the group's concern because each side will be allowed 10 minutes to speak. Plats, rezoning, revised master plan, and street renaming require a public hearing, after which the Planning Commission will deliberate and render its decision. Planning Commission members with a personal or financial interest in any petitioner's request are required to recuse themselves. Tonight, the members present are Leslie Stone, Cruz Reeves, Reginald Hawkins, Buddy Hardwick, Reggie Dunn, Frank Cook, Ann Clemens, Garrett Smith, and myself, James Reed. Members of the land use are Warren Adams, Tanya Ingram, all right, have everybody got a chance to read the notes from the minutes of the last meeting? If so, a motion is in order.
Move to approve.
Second.
A motion is made and second. All those in favor? Those opposed? All right, Tanya, are there any changes to the agenda?
Yes, sir. Number 8.
Number 8.
6707 Taylor Circle was a rezoning from O1 to B2. They have withdrawn that.
All righty then. Okay.
All right. The rest is still on. So number 1, Jeffcoat Engineers representing Ted Pettiway requesting to rezone 1.13 acres on the north side of Old Wetumpka Highway, approximately 400 feet east of Motley Drive from B2 and R60 to a B2 district.
I've got the Jeffcoat. Sir?
Yes, sir. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. I've got the Jeffcoat Engineers Surveyors at 928 South Hull Street in Montgomery.
Yes, sir.
And I'm representing Mr. Pettiway. And we have Mr. Pettiway and Mr. Taylor representing them today, and they'll help with the presentation. You know, this has two purposes. Not only to upgrade the zoning to a more practical use of B2, but it's got a split zoning going across this parcel, R60D and B2, and we'd like to get it under one piece of the same zoning. So we've prepared a survey and a legal description, and might say sort of cleaning it up. And I'll answer anything I can from engineering and surveying standpoint, but they'll help me out on the use.
So you said, as it presently stands, part of it is residential and part of it is commercial?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And you want to make all of it commercial?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Who are the gentlemen who are the people that's supposed to help you out?
Mr. Pettiway himself.
Please come forward.
Mr. Taylor.
What do you plan to do with this piece of property, sir?
What we plan to do with it, you know,
Give your name and address. Name and address.
My name Ted Pettiway.
Yes.
What we plan on doing with it is, I growed up working and worked hard and to get where I got, and I bought land through the years. And then in my neighborhood, I had older people to help me. They were mentors to me. So what I want to do, the people in the neighborhood, I got a petition. We got 78 signs, and they want a place in our neighborhood where we can have business in our own neighborhood that can bring incomes in. That's what we want. And they, you know, we had at one time, we had a bunch of drug dealers in there tearing up the neighborhood. So what we want to do now, since being a Christian, we want to do something we're going to show people the right way to do it, not the wrong way of doing things. That's what we're trying to do.
Okay. Are there any questions from the members of the Planning Commission?
Have y'all had any communication with the people around that? I'm talking about businesses and families around that.
Yeah, I went around and talked with all the neighbors, did all that. Because out there really ain't no business out there. There was a few stores out there, but the older people, they died out. So ain't nothing, we don't have nothing. We don't even have a store, nothing out there. And then the sad part is, they don't want that. Some of the older people don't want that. They don't want you to do nothing, and they not gonna do nothing. And I own a lot of land out there. I own quite a bit of land right in that area.
Okay. Any
Sir,
other-
sir, I just had a,
Wait a minute, hold on a second.
Oh, I'm sorry, but at the end of the day, you got more people that didn't want you to do anything.
No, we got more people. We got 7 or 8 on this petition. And you may have 5 or 6 don't want nothing.
Okay.
So, you know, I got 7 or 8 right here signed, and I got one with me. He's a businessman too, and he wanna build too. He wanna do something out there too.
Okay.
All right.
And
my question was specifically, what type of businesses do you plan on putting there?
It'll be just some small.
talk in the microphone.
It'll be some small, just like I'm a landscaper. I need me a little building. My wife, she a beautician, haircut. You know, we not into no kind of clubs. We godly people. We don't do no drinking, no clubs. It's just basically business. People that done went to school, got trade, they ain't got nowhere to practice their trade.
All right.
Would you object to us,
Q in it?
yeah, queuing this thing to where it said you could not have any alcoholic beverages?
Oh, I ain't got no problem.
You don't have a problem
No
with that?
problem. I'm not a drinker, and I'm not into the club, no alcohol.
All right.
My name is Robert Taylor, and I'm here to speak on behalf of Mr. Pettiway. What he failed to mention, too, is his dad was our neighborhood plumber way back in the day. Mr. Pettiway, we used to call him Dollar Bill. What Mr. Pettiway is doing is really a rejuvenation of what Madison Park once was. I was born there in 1950. While there were stores, lightweight. We're going to have objections in
Go ahead. No, just go ahead.
Yeah, I was born Route 3, Box 402W, if somebody really wants to know, which later became Fuller Road. We once had these types of light industries that Mr. Pettiway is now talking about. Now, you'd have to cross a bridge if, let's say, kids are walking to get to a little store. There's nothing out there that can sell sundries and sodas or nothing like that. At one time, there were barber shops in Madison Park, but they weren't officially dubbed that by business licenses and such. You have 78 people here who've signed who would want to have an opportunity to do things in Madison Park. Now, what he didn't point out as well, he owns 13 acres of land that he's only parceling out some of that land to be used for light industry or business. I think there's a desperate need for it. I think if you're going to have residents, then you certainly need some place where they can go and not so far from home just to do a little shopping for certain things. So I think it would be certainly a plus for the neighborhood. The land is not being used. It's been vacant for umpteen years. We have properties out there that are now just idle. They're abandoned, and no one is even doing anything with those. So I think his project would certainly enhance the neighborhood.
Okay, thank you, sir. Any other questions from the members?
The only question I have is that you mentioned barbershops and landscaping, and then you mentioned shopping stores and all that, but I didn't hear any talk about the businesses being any stores or... Well, you mentioned barbershops and beauty salons and a mechanic shop, but then you talked about people didn't have anywhere to shop for groceries, so I'm just trying to see where that fit in.
Convenience type stores. Like
Microphone, talking to the microphone.
Something of the nature of it. For instance, my home house, if I needed to go to Dollar General, I got to go to Wetumpka, or I got to come all the way over to West Ferry Road, or I got to go all the way up by the Coliseum to go to Walmart. Those type of light industries are what we're talking about. There once was a laundromat right where he is wanting to do something. There once were stores out there. You don't have any of that out there now. So what he's trying to do is bring some of that back to the community, and I think it's needed. I've been out there wanting to go get a little something from a store, and I got to drive all the way to Chisholm.
Yeah.
So
Thank
we
you.
need that kind of stuff out there.
Thank you.
Are you talking about you leasing this out?
Right.
Building something and leasing it out, or you talking about somebody coming in and trying and buying the land and then doing a barbershop or a retail or whatever?
It'll be something that I'm gonna build. It'll be metal building that I'm gonna build.
You're gonna build
Right,
it, and
right,
then
I'm
you're
gonna
gonna lease it.
And I'll lease them out to
Yes, sir.
people in the neighborhood.
All right, sir.
That's my point.
Okay. Are there any other questions? Are there any comments, questions from members of the audience? Please come forward. If you don't mind, if you can keep it brief, you know, we can take everybody, but if you're gonna go long, then we, probably two, we cut it down to two people. So, and please try not to make the same point that somebody has already made. Okay, go ahead. Who's first?
Okay.
Give your name and address, please.
Good morning. My name is Brenda Faye Wilson. My property is 3361 Old Wetumpka Highway, which is next, yes, it's right next to this, where they're talking about the barber shop, I guess, and the beauty salon and whatever. I was told, well, less than 2 years ago, they were supposed to be building garden homes or apartments or something like that, and they passed that, and they haven't started anything. So I'm all for trying to do the community. I'm working on my property, but I mean, it's like you're cross-talking. You're saying we're gonna do one thing, but you're doing something else.
Yeah.
Okay, and there's the other piece down in front of, well, I don't know, I think that's number 5, where it was supposed to be a community center. So I think that's where they're talking about putting.
Well, let's stick with this one now. Let's stick
Okay.
with this one for right now.
Okay. Well, okay, stores. We're right off 231. I mean, if I'm for whatever's right. I'm not trying to knock anybody, but it's a residential
Ma'am,
area.
what do you think is right?
Excuse me?
What do you think is right?
Whatever. I mean, we can upgrade the community. I mean, but it's a resident. They're saying, I mean, you
Are you
want to
for
bring in.
or against this project?
Excuse me?
Are you for or against this project?
Against it.
Okay, just trying to get an
Oh, okay,
understanding.
okay.
You're meandering.
Oh,
I'm Maxine Hendricks. We were down from Brooks Road, same thing. They have come in here and they have started quick deeding this property that is not theirs. That's why we need addresses. They did not have a meeting. Instead of getting with the community, he went around and he didn't tell people what they were signing for, those petitions. Because if he had told what he was signing for, they wouldn't have no 78 people to sign, because Madison Park is not for that. With all that traffic, with those big trucks coming in and out. We had property for our community center. It's been quick deeded. We need the name of those properties. How did he quick deed this? We want to know, because his name is not on the original deeds. And we need another meeting with all Madison Park to come together to let them know what's going on and what's going to take place. He can't keep sneaking in, doing rezoning, and Madison Park people that live in there don't know anything about it. So we need a meeting like we had last time for the community at the church to get together and talk this over, because he didn't call like he was supposed to. We heard nothing from Jeffcoat.
I think when you're talking about the big trucks, now you're talking about the next
The
agenda item.
landscaping,
That's the next agenda. We need to stick to agenda item 1.
And when he said we need stores out there, we got the store right across the bridge. I mean, we right there. What we need another Dollar General for? What we need another Walmart is right there.
Okay,
Okay, can I say this, like, when they
briefly,
had the,
briefly.
oh, I'm sorry, earlier, when they had, speaking of, on different sides of Old Wetumpka Highway, commercial property, B2, what have you, they were saying to join it or whatever, so on, well, I don't know, the east side, right here, that's, they want to rezone as business property, but right across, down so many feet, I don't really know, right, it's where the community center was supposed to have been. So they're saying you want to join these two combined on opposite sides of the street and make it business property. So I'm confused, that, you know.
Ma'am, have y'all, you keep mentioning a meeting, have you met with the gentleman?
I gave him,
No.
I mean, have y'all had an open meeting where you?
No, we haven't.
Would y'all be willing to do that? Come on up if you
Come
don't
up, come
mind.
up to
We
the
gotta
mic,
hear.
sir.
When I cleaned the property off, I met with this lady right here and her daughter and told them what I'm gonna, they asked me what I'm gonna do.
Let
And
me
I-
ask you
and I told
something.
them.
Let me ask you something. When this was delayed in December, wasn't the plan was to have a meeting with everybody?
Well, I
Wasn't-
went around and talked
wasn't
with the
that
neighbors.
No. But wasn't the intent for it being delayed is to delay it so that you can have a meeting with everybody in one place? Wasn't that what you were supposed to do?
Well, that's what they said, to meet with everybody. When I met, I had a meeting last time. We got one area out there, we building houses. And I had the same problem on building the houses, but today, she was saying about the houses, I got to permit today to start the first house. I got it today. And that's what I'm saying. I got to permit today to start building houses.
Let's stay focused for a minute. My question is, we delayed it in December. Right. And the reason we delayed it was for you to have a meeting with all the people in the neighborhood in one place, at the community center, wherever. Wasn't that our intent? Wasn't that your intent in December?
Well, I wasn't here in December, but I was told, that was Mr. Jeffcoat told me, to have a meeting.
Okay,
with
then
the
why
lady.
didn't you have the meeting then?
Well, we didn't meet in one place. All of them meet in one place. No, sir.
Okay.
Because, reason I'm telling you why, because when I met with them last time, when I got ready to build the houses, I met with them and I talked with them, but
We're getting off track. We're not dealing with the house, building houses and all that. We're not talking about that. We're talking about this particular item on the agenda. Let's stay focused
no,
on that.
I didn't have a meeting with them.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right.
I just
fine.
met with the neighbors, all
Okay.
the neighbors,
Individually.
individually.
Okay, all right. Is there anyone else who want to speak? Briefly. Wait a minute, wait, no. We'll get back to you. Is there anyone else here who want to speak briefly? Yes, come on, briefly, please.
My name is Joseph Simon Jr., and I live on 38 Motley Drive.
Okay,
And the reason I'm against rezoning that for business is because years ago we had a meeting at Union Chapel Church, and they said, well, we wouldn't have no business on that road, the Old Wetumpka Highway. And see, at first we had a store, a little community store. And he tore that down when he got ready to clean off when he said he bought the land, he just tore all that down.
okay.
And now you want to put up a shop next and said that you want to rezone the property. I don't know when they had enough names to sign that don't live around there.
Okay.
That's
All right.
my problem. You
Okay.
shouldn't never change it to commercial, because we said they want no business because they want to put a boat center in front of our sanctuary,
Gotcha.
and that's why.
Okay. Okay. I got you. I got you. Robert, why does the planning department object to this? You didn't think you were coming in here just gonna chill out, did you? Yeah, absolutely. This is number one.
Number one.
Yes.
So we did object to this particular rezoning request, largely because of the reasons that the neighbors in the neighborhood said. The majority of all of the property in the neighborhood is largely all residential. In any kind of small format commercial wouldn't be consistent with residential uses, and any type of use like this largely should be on the US 231 Wetumpka Highway.
Okay.
Barber shops and anything that's going to generate big time traffic. So that's our reason. It's not consistent with what's going on in the neighborhood right now. These are you look right there on that map and all you see is nothing but single family residential houses.
Okay.
And to put in commercial business would be a disruption to those particular residential uses. So that's why we objected to it.
Thank you. Appreciate
You're
it.
welcome.
One final word. No.
No, you have to do that.
At the mic.
Sir, you need to talk in the microphone.
Yeah. Speaking to the microphone, I'll pass this around.
The petition speaks definitively about what his project is, and what I have is a photograph of property that's adjacent to where he is wanting to develop.
Right.
That has been abandoned for over 25 years.
Right.
And we have to face the fact that my community, where I grew up as well, there's no residential development there. And what Mr. Pettiway is offering to do is to return us back to what we once had. We once had stores in our community. In fact, we once had taverns in our community. He's not presenting that as an option.
Okay.
But there were taverns there, peaceful. There were shot houses all over Madison Park. Okay,
let's not get into
So what
that.
he's talking about is legitimate business that's service-oriented, that would offer something to the people that live there now.
Okay. All right.
They don't
Thank
want
you.
it.
No. We got to call it. We've got to go ahead. Now, Mr. Pettiway, Mr. Jeffcoat. My question to Mr. Pettiway and Mr. Jeffcoat is, do you want to go through with this, or do you want to vote on it tonight? Or do you want another chance to have a meeting with everybody in the neighborhood at one setting?
Well, I'd rather go ahead and vote on it. You know what
Okay.
I'm saying?
Okay, that's your choice. All right.
I want to offer one thing.
Yes.
Rebuttal. If you look at your own zoning map for that area, there's just B2s all up and down the whole Wetumpka Highway. So to talk about trying to hold on to it being residential is not reasonable. And
Okay.
I'm almost shocked that the planning staff, those comments that they made.
Okay.
Mr.
right,
Jeffcoat,
Yes.
I'll ask you, or that's Mr. Pettiway, isn't part of this property that you've got right now already zoned commercial?
Yes. Part of this property that we're requesting right now is already B2.
So he could put something on it right now? Okay, I just wanted to confirm that that's,
But it needs to be cleaned up where it can plan for the whole park. We think, that's our feeling.
Okay.
I understand.
All right. Thank you very much, sir.
What I want to say on that 1.3 acre is part already zoned business, but it's not enough.
Okay.
And the lady that was talking right there, her land joined mine, but from where her house at, all the way to Motley Road, all that zone business, all the whole piece.
Okay. Gotcha.
But that's just a small strip on the, coming off of the Wetumpka Highway, that just goes back, I don't know, plus or minus 200, 192 feet. Is that what, it's not there's not much width, is what I'm getting.
Right, it's small.
So you're trying to get to additional land
Right,
so that you would have, are you trying to use the whole frontage?
right.
All right, okay. And so what would happen to the back of this property? 'Cause-
Well, the back of that property is zoned for resident. We'll be a house, and we got right next to that land. We building houses right next to it already.
So you plan to have a residential and a commercial property out there.
Right.
So how you gonna get to the houses on Wetumpka Highway if you're talking about building houses behind your retail?
What I'm saying is, I own the land next door where I'm already building houses at. I already got houses there.
He wants to know your access. How are you getting to
I got on both sides. I got access on both sides of where the house is at, and I got access enough room on the where I'm joining this lady property at.
You have to talk in the mic.
The B2 zoning? Yes, that's my property. All right, if I'm looking at the lot, yours is the left, and my back is toward the Wetumpka Highway. Yours is the left. Okay, that just that little bit. But do you still own it?
Yes, and right next.
Well, I'm confused at what we're trying to do.
It's two pieces there. It's the little small piece is mine. The bigger piece is hers.
The small piece. Now, wait a minute, I thought that's what she was just telling me. The small piece was hers.
The small piece is not hers.
Not hers.
Yeah. If you look right
yours is to the left of this whole property, not the small part of this property.
Right, hers to the left.
Mr. Jeffcoat, do you understand what the question is?
I'm not sure I do.
I'm not sure either.
Well, what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to understand, when I look at this plat, this preliminary plat, it reflects B2 zoning is the current zoning.
Okay, what we looking at right there on that map right there, that's mine right there, little piece right there.
That B2 right there
That's
is
mine,
yours.
that's mine.
Okay, and yours is to the left of it, right?
That's mine right there, yeah.
It's been previously platted by Mr. Pettiway as a lot 8, and even though there's a lot of lines on there, it's all his. And she's talking about to the left.
That's what I'm.
Right.
Okay, all right, so you're to the left of this, and yours is zoned also B2.
I have commercial and, well, B2 and I have homes. That's how, and it goes all the way back.
What do you plan to do with the commercial?
Ma'am, you need to come up to the microphone, please.
You can't get to it.
Yeah, I'm sorry, we recording this, so.
The largest of the business, the B2 property, that's where my parents had the club at. And then the homestead.
I'm sorry, had the what?
We had a club years ago. And Mr. Ernest Wilson.
I think I've been out there.
Oh, Mr. Ernest Wilson and Catherine Pamela Wilson. Cafe, yes. And then we had the homestead, the house next to that. And then he came in, and then our land, it goes far back. I mean, well, it's right here. I have it.
But you're objecting to him to have what you've got.
No, I mean, I don't know what, first they said he was building, townhouses and patio, but nothing ever come of that, but I don't know. And then he came in, well, he pushed dirt over on my property. He's been doing a lot of stuff, he thinks I don't know. But 2 days after we left here, he called my daughter and threatened her. Okay, so the rest, and he's saying, I have, for long years, my parents, well, you said you've been to the restaurant.
Ma'am, why do you object to his B2 zoning?
Excuse me?
Why do you object to the B2 zoning?
I don't know what he's doing. I mean, I don't know.
He told you what he wanted to do. Why do you object to that?
Because it's a residential area.
Ma'am, yours is B2.
Yes, it is. Yes, and yes, it is.
Well, why do you object to his B2 right next to it?
It's on the other side. I mean, it's commercial property, right, I mean, yes, I mean, it's homestead property right between there. Right between my B2, I understood him to say the largest B2 property was his, and it's not. And then on this side, he's trying to get it zoned right here to business property. That's what I'm understanding.
So
Okay,
so you're objecting to his B2 because you've got it and you don't want him to have it. Is that what you're saying?
say it again. I'm sorry.
Did I hear it right?
What was that?
You're objecting to his B2 because you've got it and you don't want him to have it.
No, that's not it. Mr. Pettiway has done a lot of stuff, in the community.
All right.
And I'm just keeping up with what everybody.
Let's bring this to a conclusion. All right, now, Mr. Pettiway, one last thing. Well, let me understand that you only want to use it for a barber shop, beauty shop, mechanic shop, or something like that. Is that correct?
That's correct.
All right. You want to vote? Let's go ahead and have a vote. Yeah, no alcohol, of course. Yes. All right. Is there a motion?
James,
Yes.
in his petition that he had everybody sign, it also had catering and other items in that petition. Did you see that?
It doesn't count if it's not on this.
Oh,
From the way, correct me if I'm wrong, he's gonna queue it as beauty shop, barber shop, mechanic shop. Only.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Is there a
You
motion?
do understand that by queuing it that way, nothing else can be built there?
Ever.
You do understand that now?
Too, a little eating place,
No.
couldn't have that. Okay,
No.
we can just stick with what you got then.
Stick with what you got. So
We'll stick with
no
it.
alcohol,
No alcohol.
No food.
beauty shop, barber shop, mechanic shop.
Correct.
All right. Is there a motion? Do I have a motion?
That's number 2.
Is there a motion?
Move to approve.
You move to approve what?
Q, with a Q.
With those items that we just mentioned?
Those items you just mentioned.
All right.
Q.
Move to approve with the queued items as mentioned before. Barber shop, beauty shop, a mechanic shop, and definitely no alcohol. All those approved.
You don't have a second.
Need a second.
Oh, yeah, is there a second? I'm sorry, I stand corrected. Is there a second? All right, sir, you don't have a second, so there is no action.
I'd like to make a motion, Mr. Chair.
Yes,
I make a motion that we deny.
well, we've already got one to approve.
But
He can make another one.
Yeah, absolutely. I
Okay.
can make another one.
All right,
So I make a motion to deny based on the fact that it's mainly residential property around there, and that it's going to interfere with the integrity of that community. So that motion that we deny. And also it don't come in hand with the 2040 comprehension plan.
all right. Do we have a second on move to disapprove?
Second?
Second. And what exactly? So could you please repeat that again?
He's just not in line.
It's not in line with comprehension plan.
Not in line with the 2040 comprehension plan, and also the majority of the property surrounding that is residential property, which is going to interfere with the integrity of that community.
Okay, roger that. All those in favor of the motion to disapprove? Please, to deny. Please raise your hand. All right, sir, your rezoning has been denied.
Mr. Cook, you voted against that motion?
Yes.
Okay.
All those opposed?
You didn't
Just
ask.
one opposed?
Yes, sir.
I'm sorry. My mistake. We've gone a little long on this. I'm a
Okay.
little off my game.
Item number two,
Sir, you can talk to that lady over there, and she can tell you your
they,
actions.
they have item number two as well.
All right.
Item number two, Jeffcoat Engineers representing Ted Pettiway requesting to rezone 3.34 acres on the south side of Old Wetumpka Highway from R50 and R60D to a B2 district.
And I'm still Guthrie's Jeffcoat, same address. And, we got the same situation here except a larger parcel, 3+ acres with split zoning in it.
Split zoning again.
And, Mr. Pettiway, Mr. Taylor, you're gonna have to expound on more about the development than I can.
All right.
Fellas, come on.
Quite frankly, it mirrors the other one, so it would be more or less a ditto effect. So I see no need to prolong this meeting if it's gonna, the outcome's pretty much gonna be the same.
Okay, part of it is residential, and you want to make it all commercial, correct? And for landscaping. Am I understanding that right?
No, sir. I own 13 acres right there. I bought this land from the city of Montgomery.
Mr. Pettiway, speak in the mic.
I say, I own 13 acres right there, which I purchased this land from the city of Montgomery. They were supposed to build a community center on this land, but they never built it. So I'm only going to zone 3.3 acres of it, the front part of it, to do for bid.
Where there's landscaping mentioned here, do you just want to make it a B2 and then you do landscaping, whatever?
Yes, sir.
Okay, all right. Any questions any comments, questions from members of the board? Any question, comment from members of the audience? Yes, ma'am. Please come forward. Could you please let her get to the mic?
I'm Maxine Hendricks. That was where our community center's supposed to have Dr. Hegland say, so that to the city for us to build that community center. How he quick deeded and got it, we don't know to this day. We are trying to figure out how did he get it. And as Robert Taylor said, he lived in Madison Park. They moved into Madison Park. He's not Madison Park original. That's why he don't mind selling out. But we supposed to have that community center right where he's trying to put the landscaping trucking thing coming in and out.
Okay.
And we still want that land for our community center.
Okay. Robert, the same thing as last? Same thing. Okay. All right. Thank you very much.
How did he get the deed to it if it belonged to the city of Montgomery?
That's a good question. I have no idea. I don't know.
Tanya, how did they get the deed?
I'm not involved in purchasing and selling the property.
Yeah, and I wasn't involved in it either, so I don't know. But same comment as before on the previous one.
How did you get it, sir?
Well, the land came up for sale. The city of Montgomery owned it. It came up for sale, and it was a sign put out there for sale. They all seen it, but nobody moved on it. I moved on it.
So you bought it from the city?
I bought it from the city of Montgomery.
The city had it for sale?
Had it for sale.
They were not going to build a community center on it?
No, sir.
Okay.
All right.
Okay, well, ma'am, or whoever was up here before, I don't quite understand why, if you knew that it was for sale, did you ask the city about it and the community center?
Into the mic, Mike. Please, let her get to the mic.
Bobby Bright was in at the time that land was there. Nobody saw a for sale sign. What he's doing is quick deeding these people in, and nobody knows about it until, all of a sudden stuff is being built around into the resident. That is a full resident out there in Madison Park.
So he's had the land since Bobby Bright's, so at least 15 years?
Bobby Bright is the one that had that for the community center. All of a sudden, nobody knew why we didn't get our community center because he didn't quick deed it and took the land.
Okay.
Thank you.
Can I give y'all a piece of
Yes.
information? The deed does say City of Montgomery sold it to him in 2017.
Well, that wasn't Bobby Wright's administration.
No, he the one, Bobby Bright is the one that, the city brought it. Heckman Say sold it to the city to build the community center.
Okay.
Any other questions? All right, a motion is in order.
Move to approve.
All right. He did not get a second, so therefore we got no action, Tanya, correct?
All right?
All right. Next item.
I'm sorry. Item number 3, Jeffcoat Engineers representing ELIF Development, requesting preliminary approval of Ellsmead Addition preliminary overall on the south side of Ellsmead Drive, approximately 300 feet west of Meadow Lane in a B1BQ district.
This is the old Ellsmead Golf Club, south of the bypass and west of Woodley Road that we all are familiar with. A lot of people used to play there. And it's been shut down, I think, since about 2007. And my clients are buying it and want to extend the existing housing of the same type that's out there now, which is R75, I believe. Single-family dwellings. And we had a community meeting in the clubhouse, which is being underway right now, renovated, because it's been sitting out there gathering junk. And they're going to renovate the clubhouse and make it in some fashion to the community. And the only surprise that I've had is that we recognize that a portion of the, up in the northern corner is in the floodplain. And we have made an initial contact with Parks and Recreation to see if there was any interest from the city of Montgomery in doing some joint efforts. We don't know how good or bad the floodplain is. It could be that only 6 inches under, it may be 4 feet under, and be prohibitive to develop some of that. Nevertheless, we've sent them a map to the Parks and Recreation, Mr. Card, and asked him to consider reviewing it from a standpoint of joint use or partial use or whatever. In other words, working together to try for the betterment of the community in that floodplain area. So naturally, the development will probably start on the south going north. I'll try to answer any questions I can. And of course, I hope some of my owner representatives are here. I was at the meeting at the clubhouse, and we didn't have anybody antagonistic. So I think it was a productive meeting.
Is that shadow area, is
Sir?
that the part that you, is that, if you could pull up the other slide?
It's at the end of Ellsbury Road and at the end of Ellsmead.
No, I mean, is that the shadow area on one of the slides that you're talking about, the floodplain?
Talking about the floodplain, it's up there, there you are, up in there, behind those apartments that come off the southern bypass.
Okay. Gotcha. Yeah,
And at the
shaded
time
area.
all that was
Yeah,
built,
that's what I was asking, is it the
you know,
shaded
we didn't
area?
know too much about the floodplain. That was the beginning of floodplain analysis back there. And I don't even remember when Ellsmead was initially built and the housing done, in the 50s or 60s, somewhere in there.
So the project will not go that far as the floodplain until that's taken care of?
Yeah, and I want your blessings on the layout and to know that we have met with the adjacent owners, and we will get into some detailed engineering then to try to develop some costs to see just what can take place up there in that floodplain. But didn't want to go very far without spending much money until we knew.
Correct. Any other questions from members up here? Are there any questions or comments from members of the audience? Anyone?
I just have a question.
Yes.
Has the community had this information?
Yes, the 3 or 4 days before the meeting, we went door by door at 250 houses out there and put circulars on there inviting them to the public meeting and giving them a copy that you've got here of this layout. So they've been, as best we could, of course, you know, the ones adjacent to it all along there got a certified mail. But the rest of them got doors and windshields.
And they didn't have an issue with it, the project?
Pardon?
They did not have an issue with the project?
We had some that came by, but everything they said was positive. I thought it was quite positive that one lady mentioned that we sure would be nice to have some walking trails and whatever of the city up in that floodplain and make use of it. So I really don't know where that's going. I tried to call the Parks and Recreation director before this meeting and I couldn't get him. It's only been a short time, about a week. So we will